Hotepu gatekeepers and our allies. This is His Royal Majesty King Ra Sumaba Ifagbeemi, the world's first openly African gay king. And the role of a king is to feed and protect his people. And today I do so by giving you a brief on the true meaning of spirituality. You are all trying to be spiritual. We all need a spiritual experience in life. But unfortunately, the West does not define that word very carefully. What the ancients called spirituality, modern people call psychology. There really is not much difference at the core. The main difference is that the psychology of the ancient peoples, called their spiritual systems, was a much more in-depth psychology, a much more holistic psychology. And so, to be spiritual is to be a master of your psychology, to master your mind, to be lord of your thoughts, to rule your emotions and behaviors, and not have them rule you. That's the only function of a spiritual system, to help the citizens of that nation have psychological balance, wellness, and positive motivation. So, the way to do this is through a science. So the first glyph you see here, this glyph of Ma'at, this orange yellowish glyph, is our word for mathematics or for science. So in order for you to be able to know how to have a scientific spiritual experience, which includes feeling and emotion and passion as part of that science, you have to know how to use technologies or Ma'at, divine technology. So we have here this word, which is neter, which is the Kemetic phrase or word for the Supreme Being. But I define this word not as God or even Supreme Being, but as the great scientist of the universe. The great scientist of the universe. That's a much more Kemetic way of looking at the Supreme Being. And if you multiply this glyph, you get a second word called neteru. U means plural. Neter means supreme being or the great scientist. And the neteru are the sciences. The Kamau never had gods. That's a fallacy given to the Kamau and to many African systems by Western biases. But we never had gods. Call them sciences. So the god Sebek, for example, the jackal god, that's a misnomer. He's the science of communication. Ahi or Heteru is the science of music or joy. Ast is the science of motherhood, not the goddess of motherhood. If you say science, it's much more approachable, it's more manageable, and it's more efficient. So this science for becoming spiritual, or what I call a super psychology, is through sound. That's the major tool used mathematically or scientifically to make your spirituality turn you into a lord of your psychology. Aren't there things you wish you could stop in yourself? Certain habits, smoking, drinking, anger, sexual addiction, alcoholism, shyness. There are things in which many people wish they could stop doing, but they can't seem to stop it because they're not lords of their psychology. The psychology or the impulses are lords of the people. So the best way to make yourself master of your psychology, master of your motivation, is through sound. So here we have a list of sounds going from the most sublime sounds to the more grounded earthly sounds. Here the word ong is the sound, and let me mind you that each sound's function is to stimulate a certain part of your brain. So they say we only use 10% of our brain. The question is, how do you activate the other 90%? The way to do that, mathematically, scientifically here, is through sound waves, sonic technology, or what's called cymatics. Ong is the sound that you should visualize as a white light bathing your whole brain. This sound causes all the brain structures to magnetize themselves towards the direction of their highest expression. It stimulates the brain to want to express its abilities at its maximally positive pitch. These 5 sounds here, lung, vung, rung, yang, hung, are the sounds of the 5 elements. Lung is earth, vung is water, rung is fire, yang is air, and hung is ether or space. These are the 5 sounds that are the fuels of success. Lung, the earth, means the fuel for material success and luxury. Vung is the fuel for emotional success and relationships. Rung is the fuel for external success and being somebody in the world. Yang is the fuel for having relationship success and social skills. Hung is the sound of having clear, positive philosophies in life. Then we have this series of sounds, which are what we call personality sounds. For example, you can be a type A personality, you could be an artist personality, you can be someone who's more of a nurturer, someone who's more of an academician. Okay? Helring, shringaing, mavang, raing, warajang. These are the sounds, helring, of the alpha male or alpha female energy. Shring is the sound of the successful businessman. Aying is the sound of the academician. Mavang is the sound of the nurturer. Raing is the sound of the leader who understands the minds of his people. Warajang is the sound of the sign of Virgo, which helps you to break through quickly blocks and problems in life. Here we have Bahang, Chaing, Dahing, Jing, Raing, Jiving, Paung. We'll cover just a few of these. I'll do more in future classes I'll be holding for Words of Power. But let's say, for example, Chaing here is the sound that belongs to Ahi or Heteru, which stimulates your brain to maximize your gifts. It also brings a lot of good luck in terms of receiving positive things in your life, meaning objects, the best furniture, the best clothes, the best schools, the best cars, etc. The sound Raing here belongs to the goddess Taurt and deals with prosperity, getting a lot of money. Jiving, for example, here belongs to Geb and helps you to have physical prowess, physical strength and skill for yoga or for athletic activities. Pahaung is the sound of fame, belongs to Ra. Then we have what's called the nature spirit sounds. We have many of these. These are all just a sampling. Ong, drang, dring, drang, ong, jihrang, jihring, jihrang. These are the sounds, in this case, drang, dring, drang, that deal with you activating the nature energies to support you in your artistic and romantic skills. The Jiharang, Jihring, Jiharang series deals more with activating the side of nature that will support you in school, learning, clear thinking, and philosophy. And here we have some sounds: Biyumgala, Lilibalang, Ogalang, Chibambang, Toi Tong, Wah. Biyumgala is a sound that helps you, these are more physical sounds, earthly sounds. This helps you to lift heavy objects. This one makes you very efficient and successful on a project. Ogalang gives you the power of title, gives you the ability to get a promotion and attain title. Chibambang gives you vitality to complete your job. Toi Tong is the sound that helps you to correct people in a positive, constructive manner. And Hua is the sound of joy, bliss, and celebration of being alive. So through these sounds, you can learn to flood your brain with energies and control your behavior, control your moods, control your depressions and your anger and your short-fusedness and all such. This is the goal of spirituality, to help people have better behavior. And this is the purpose of the Golden Beetle spiritual system, to coach you all in how to be your own super psychologist from within. Duawend Hotepu.